Hey you guys, Nick's Book Nook here. So it is that time of year again. This is part 4 of my yes, no, maybe for my reading goal of 2025. This is going to cover books 31 through 40. Don't ask me how we're already this far into the year because I honestly have no idea. So without further ado, let's get to it. So book 31 was Do You Remember? I did the audiobook for this by the thriller queen, Miss Frida McFadden. I'm gonna give Do You Remember a maybe. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would, but it wasn't my favorite. Book 32, The Couple Next Door by Shari Lapena, I'm not sure. This was an absolute yes. I really enjoyed this one. I read this in like 2 days, devoured it. It was a lot better than I actually anticipated it being. So this was a pleasant surprise, yes. Slow Dance by Rainbow Roll. I think that had I read it, it might have been a little bit more my speed. I did the audio. I found it drug out a little bit too long. It was rather long and not a lot happened, not very action-packed. Not that I expected it to, it just was not really my favorite book ever. I'd give it a maybe, leaning more towards no, but had I read it, it might be a maybe even leaning towards yes. Small Great Things by Jodi Picoult, absolutely. This is so far one of my favorite reads of the year. This was a lot. It was emotional. It was real, raw. I really, really enjoyed this one, so absolutely yes. Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulak. Yes, I did the audio for that. That was my first book by him. I absolutely loved that book. I thought it was great. It had a little bit of a supernatural kind of twist at the end that I'm not usually crazy about, but it worked here. Loved where it took place, loved the pacing. The narration in the audiobook was also awesome. Hands down, yes. Home is Where the Bodies Are by Geneva Rose. I'm gonna give this one a yes. This was actually, believe it or not, my first book by that author. I've been wanting to read her for a while. I have a couple others on my TBR. I know she has a new release coming out, or it already came out, not 100% sure, but I'm gonna give this one a yes. I did the audio. I enjoyed how the 3 siblings all had a different narrator. It was very fast-paced. It was like the perfect mix of funny but dark. I enjoyed it, so yes. Frozen River, this was my book club's book of the month. If you want a full review on this, I did post a video below, and we're going to do an even deeper dive in my book club's meeting this Wednesday, 7:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Zoom. Shoot me a message if you want to come. Maybe. I don't know. It wasn't my favorite. It tied up nicely in the end, but I think I had more issues with this book than I did pros. So more cons than pros. Overall, I gotta give it a maybe. Wasn't my favorite by any means. Next, I have this absolutely insane book, Tampa by Alyssa Nutting. I'm gonna give it a yes. I don't know. Yeah, I enjoyed the way that it was written. I just thought it was like a crazy subject matter, and like the overall novel was nuts from start to finish. So if you're into that sort of thing, or you want to feel really uncomfortable, yes. Next up, I did the audio for Brain Damage by Frida McFadden. That one had been on my TBR for a long time. I enjoyed it. I did. It wasn't as dark as some of her other books, a little bit less twisty. There was still a fair share of twist, but nothing crazy. A little bit more character development, I noticed, than some of her more recent work. Overall, I would give it a yeah. I think I enjoyed it. I don't know. It was not my favorite Frida book, but it felt like I was reading a different author, if that makes sense. So overall, yes. And lastly, I am counting the novella. This is The Widow's Husband's Secret Lie by Frida McFadden. It's over 100 pages, so it still counts, okay? She was cute. We'll give her a maybe, sure. It was like funny. It was like not really a thriller. It was meant to not be taken too seriously. Overall, maybe, yeah, sure. Like I said, cute. No book of the year, you know. Yeah, so maybe. Yeah. So that is it. Books 31 through 40. Can't wait to see where I end up between books 41 and 50. Hoping to have that done sometime in May, but with travel and summer on the horizons, who's to say? So if I keep at my same pace, I think sometime in May. My current audio right now is You Shouldn't Have Come Here by Geneva Rose, because now I'm on a kick of her and I want to listen to and read everything she's ever written. My current read is The Other Woman by Sandy Jones. I'm still pretty early on in this, but I can see where it's going, and so far I'm enjoying it. Comment your current read below. Let me know what number of read you are on for the year, and yes, we are counting audiobooks. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.